Oh, oh. I should probably lay off the booze. Ah, so this is where I've been since the last review.
And then magically I appeared in my room.
Teleportation takes a lot out of you. I'm back! Man, it's been a while since the last review. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not actually making a Sonic video like I said in the last one. Well, that about wraps everything up. Tune in next time, guys, where we'll be trying to go fast and get some chili dogs. And maybe we'll see Jim Carrey along the way. It'll be fun. No, instead we're actually going to be looking at the first 2D animated film for the channel, as well as the first film that we've had from the UK. It's Freddy as F.R.O.7, aka Freddy the Frog. The film was originally released by Rank Film in the UK, and was subsequently released by Miramax of all companies in the US. And now for the requisite Harvey Weinstein joke.
Sometimes Harvey Weinstein will let me use the Miramax jet, if I'm opening a supermarket for him. That one didn't age quite so well.
This film was the passion project of its director and co-writer John Asshat, as it's based on a bunch of short stories that he had created for his kids. Why am I getting some very disconcerting flashbacks to Lady in the Water all of a sudden? The film bolstered an all-star cast, including Academy Award winner Ben Kingsley, Brian Blessed, Jonathan Pryce, and even James Earl Jones as the narrator for the US release of the film. However, this wouldn't really save the project, seeing as when it was released, it became the lowest grossing animated film of all time, earning a total of only $1.1 million at the US box office. This record itself would be held until 2007, when the animated Ten Commandments movie came out that year. Oddly enough, also starring Ben Kingsley. But the question stands though, was the film really so bad as to gain so little money and such lauded reviews? Truthfully, I don't fucking know, but let's find out anyway. This is Freddy as F.R.O.7. So the movie begins with an opening song number as the sun rises in Paris, France. Hold on. An amazing fantasy of a new kind?
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
When you're being chased by dragons and your back's against the wall.
Well, which is it? Are we being chased, or is our back against the wall? I'm not even half a minute into this film and already I'm confused. We get introduced to our titular character, Freddie, played by Sir Ben Kingsley, driving his sentient car that croaks and emits green hearts instead of exhaust fumes.
No, I won't be scared of dragons.
Okay then. After a pretty lengthy title sequence, we immediately flash back to Freddy's childhood, hundreds of years ago, when he was a prince?
In the country of France, there lived a prince called Frederick.
We see a young Freddy, played by Ben's son Edmund Kingsley, practicing magic with his father. We're also introduced to his evil aunt, Messina, who uses her magic to kill his father and makes it look like an accident.
Papa! Papa!
By Grabthar's hammer, by the sons of Warvan, you shall be avenged.
She claims the throne for herself and intends to kill her nephew to ensure that she's the only one left in the royal bloodline. And instead of doing the logical thing by instead poisoning him or stabbing him in the back, no, she turns him into a frog.
Look, Dad, there's a bear.
No, Christine, that's a frog.
Little Freddy makes a run for it and his aunt gives chase, while screaming like a goat. hope seems lost when all of a sudden...
I said, damn it, monster! Get off my lawn!
Firstly, huh? Secondly, what? Thirdly, why are you covered in fur? And finally, what the hell is the Loch Ness Monster doing in France?
Mind your own business!
Okay, it seems like I'm rushing through some of the movie's plot already. I'm not. The pacing in this movie is atrocious. It throws so much bullshit at you in such little time, and we're not even 10 minutes in! Anyway, Messina throws a fit while delivering a speech, and how she'll get Freddy one day, and how she'll, you guessed it, take over the world.
I shall be all-powerful. I shall rule the world.
Of course!
Well, here's my question for it. You can conjure up storms, transform people, manipulate matter to your will. Why not just take over the world now?
There's a simple explanation for that.
Anyway, we also learn that Freddy has telekinesis of some sort, as he uses it to get Nessie out of a snag. I don't know why he didn't use it to fend off his aunt earlier, considering he could lift a boulder with his powers, but then again, I'm not an underpaid screenwriter who's probably baked out of his mind.
I am so high.
Nessie escorts him to a safe refuge when we see... Must resist Princess and the Frog joke. Must resist Princess and the Frog joke. So our frog prince joins them and we get a brief montage of his new life amongst the amphibians. But his time there doesn't last long as he rapidly grows into a battletoad. The frogs get him some normal clothes that they have for some reason, and Freddy leaves to go take down his aunt and reclaim his kingdom. Nah, that would actually be the logical thing for him to do.
I'm not dead!
No, instead he decides to join the French Secret Service. His kingdom's fate is completely swept under the rug because who needs closure, am I right? Anyway, we cut to modern day Britain where we see a bunch of tourists visiting Nelson's column, but are horrified to see it vanish before their very eyes.
None other than Nelson's column. I don't see nothing.
We get some more exposition about how a few other countries' national monuments are disappearing from...
Just look at this. I flew around here yesterday and this
No, you
I'm telling you, the tower was...
Holy shit!
Hey, it's the crows from Dumbo.
Well, I done seen about everything, but I sure enough ain't seen your boy no-how.
Ah, that's good old-fashioned family racism.
Yeah, this is clearly one of the scenes that was cut out for the American home release. Good lord, mind you, this is over 50 years after Dumbo came out, and they still thought this was a good idea?
Doodle came to town just to buy a pony.
Ah, get back! Get back, you heathens! Do not make me get the coat hangers!
Help!
So after Buckingham Palace seemingly gets abducted, the British Secret Service need to deal with the issue. Unfortunately, all of their best agents are already in the field.
003 in China, 005 in Russia, 007 in Hollywood.
Will you shut up?
You shut up, man. It's a comedy.
Desperate for aid, they call upon their French allies for their best agent, but one of them tries to inform the other of Freddy's unique traits.
Yes, just to warn you there, he's a frog.
That's no way to talk about our loyal French allies.
No, sir, what I mean is he's green.
Nonsense. He's their most experienced man.
A froggy beep a small beastie with 4 legs, which lay poop in water and on land. It is brown, or green, or yellow, or be it tropical. He may have diverse colors.
But you're a frog.
Yes?
What was with the delivery of that line? It's like Kingsley said it while he was sucking on a gobstopper. We awkwardly transition deeper into the facility as we meet our British agent and obligatory love interest for the movie, Daffers.
Delighted to meet you, Daffers. I'm afraid I don't have very much use for gadgets, but I
like the landing area?
Boobies?
We also meet our resident gadget expert, Scotty. No, the best way I can describe him is if Q worked for Acme. And to be fair, some of it does look pretty practical.
I'm afraid the only weapon I use is my thoughts. The powers of the mind will always overcome violence.
Stan, would you care to object?
AR-15, MK5, MAC-10, Paprika.
Well, I don't have any concealed weapons.
Oh la la.
You know, for kids!
This is the BBC, and here is a newsflash. Canterbury Cathedral has disappeared.
Thank you, Janice. And in conspiracy news, is there really a 6-foot-tall frog working at MI6? More at 11.
This is bad comedy.
Freddy and his new teammates head down to the horse track in Ascot in search of some leads. Shortly after arriving, Freddy is confronted by some thugs.
We have a message for you, F.R.O.7. And the message is... death!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Schlockskers. In our next category, the Most Awkward Death Threat Award. And here are the nominees. The X-Men arcade game. Lovely. The next nominee, Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon for the CDI.
Join me, Link, and I will make your face the greatest in Korodai, or else you will die.
Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. And our final nominee, Freddie as F.R.O.7.
We have a message for you, F.R.O.7. And the message is... death!
Absolutely wonderful nominees. And the award for Most Awkward Death Threat goes to... Freddie as F.R.O.7. Thank you. That is just a wonderful, wonderful turnout today. I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry. We have the wrong winner. This is the wrong envelope. The winner for the award, thank you, Bob. The winner for the award was actually Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon. This is gonna be awkward for next year's ceremony. After kicking their asses, so much for overcoming violence with your mind, Freddy overhears the goons messaging their leader, and then we meet the head of their operation, El Supremo, played by the wonderful Brian Blessed.
Or, as he's known to his fans,
Brian Blessed! Gordon's alive!
We see he's working with Messina to, you guessed it, take over the world.
Of course.
And no, we still get no closure as to what happened to the kingdom despite Messina's reintroduction to the plot. Freddy, despite being pretty far away, hears that their next target is Big Ben, but when he's asked about it, he lies and says that their next target is Windsor Castle.
but why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
We'll get to that a bit later, but first, we have to listen to the movie's villain song.
Evilmania, I'm gonna rule your world.
It's odd to say the least. It sounds like Devo tried to cover a Voltaire song. It features rollerblading Cybermen, knights, outdated depictions of Japanese men wearing Nazi uniforms, and Klansmen. We're seeing the same thing, right? I mean, I know I joked about the writers being on drugs earlier, but I'm starting to think that might actually be the case.
I can stroke you with my tail.
The French National Guard takes Freddy's word and sends a platoon to defend the palace, while the amphibious spy heads to Big Ben.
Parliament.
He then admits to lying to his team and gives his reasoning.
It was necessary to distract the brigadier. As a soldier, he would wish to capture the enemy. It is not enough. We must penetrate into their headquarters. The only way to achieve this is to let them take us.
You magnificent bastard, I read your book!
This is the best plan you could come up with? Here's a thought. Why not let the Brigadier know and give him some troops so that way they can back you up on this infiltration attempt? Granted, you do have telekinesis, but I think it would be a lot more help if you had more than 3 people in order to take over this base. We learn how the villains have been stealing the monuments via a giant, flying, mechanical goddamn snake. Okay, show of hands here, who thought it was going to be Serpentera? El Supremo steals Big Ben and quickly finds out that there are stowaways in the clock tower, allowing him to apprehend the spies. So, how does our hero react to this dire situation?
Perhaps you may give us haggis for dinner.
Are you retarded?
After El Supremo shows that he's been shrinking down the monuments, he reveals what his endgame is. He has a gem that sucks the positive energy from the ancestors within the buildings, and it's converting into negative energy that will force the will of everyone in the country. This will allow him to invade Britain with no resistance. His plan is all but complete when he steals the final piece to his victory, Edinburgh Castle. Shortly after, the Brigadier learns of Big Ben's theft.
You'll never guess what's gone this time. What next?
It's only a model. Shh.
Messina attacks Scotty in an attempt to eat him, even though she's human, so that technically makes this cannibalism. Freddy fights her, but what strikes me as odd is he's never shocked, angry, or sad when meeting her again. Hell, throughout most of the film he is flat out apathetic. Anyway, shit hits the fan fast as Daffers is held captive by Supremo for his own reasons.
Hey, chicka bum bum.
That's disgusting.
Freddy and Scotty are dropped into the ocean full of sea monsters, and with that, the Mastermind's plan goes into motion and sucks the willpower out of Britain. The two look like they're about to become fish food, but then...
What do you want from us, monster? And the monster bent down and said, I need about $3.50.
What's $3.50?
$3.50.
As the villains prepare to conquest, Nessie takes our heroes to her lair for a musical number.
'Cause we're the giants of jive. We'll rock you in the cradle of the deep. Come on, don't be shy.
Time and place? Why are you doing this now? The citizens of Britain are about to be enslaved!
Do something! Do something! Do something!
No, what was it you were wanting, Freddy?
After that literal distraction, Nessie and the rest of her pod sabotage the villain's submarines with seaweed, after Scotty comes up with the perfect plan to get past the base's guards.
Help! Help! I've just come across a dead frog!
What's this? What was this then?
What's he dead?
By God, these guys make stormtroopers look like frickin' Spartans!
That's bad.
Freddy and Scotty put on the guard suits to sneak into the base and save Daffers, only to get surrounded by the enemy. This then leads into a fight scene, which is, for lack of a better word, underwhelming. The animation is stiff and the music isn't fitting at all. Well then, might as well change the edit myself. Freddy ends up destroying the gem and Britain bounces back, but this ends up draining Freddy as he has a flashback from a pep talk with his father.
The true powers of the mind are greater than any weapon.
Translation?
Use the Force, Luke.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This reminds Freddy, oh yeah, I have telekinesis, and he defeats the rest of the goons. El Supremo then threatens to cut Big Ben down if he doesn't surrender.
Surrender, F.R.O.7, or I will destroy your precious monument!
The Queen of England would never forgive me. I surrender. I am prepared to die for it.
No, Freddy!
Jesus, what the hell was that? Okay, I know this isn't the case, but by the way her hair and her face is animated, it looks like her head is making a full 360. Did she suddenly get possessed by Pazuzu from The Exorcist?
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Anyway, Daffers activates the Shrink Ray on Big Ben, causing it to grow under El Supremo and subduing him in the process.
As you said, Monsieur Supremo, the time has come!
El Supremo himself is probably thanking his lucky stars that it didn't get shoved up his ass. Anyway, with El Supremo out of the way, Messina is left to deal with her nephew as she transforms into a variety of animals. And it's pretty embarrassing on her part. I don't know why she doesn't turn into a T-Rex and stomp on him or something, or use her weather manipulating powers to conjure up a storm inside of the base. There's like 300 different ways that she could have killed him at any point. She eventually gets her nephew into a deathlock, but another pep talk from his flashback father makes Freddy go, "Oh yeah, telekinesis!" Anyway, Freddy kicks her ass and she runs off, remarking that she will return. Daffers gets in contact with the Brigadier and tells them that they've recovered all of the landmarks, and intends to return them to their proper place. They also happen to catch a traitor who was in the service, and I have to ask, did he really play any sort of, important role in the plot?
None whatsoever.
That's what I thought. And the movie ends with him getting his next mission at Washington, D.C., sequel bait that'll never be resolved because the animation studio went bankrupt shortly after. The end. And that was Freddy as F.R.O.7, aka James Pond. The hell did I just watch? The story was all over the place and didn't know what genre it wanted to be. The characters are boring, the animation isn't awful, it's about on par with a semi-decent Warner Brothers straight-to-VHS movie, and the music is just bizarre, sounding almost like Barry Manilow's Leftovers from The Pebble and the Penguin, except Randy Newman came in and decided to soak it in piss. But oddly enough, I kinda recommend it. It's one of those movies that's so balls-to-the-wall crazy that it'll keep you entertained. You want to keep watching it because you want to see what insane plot point they'll throw at you next. If you're having a bad movie night with your friends, I'd say grab a beer and check it out. It's a hopping mad good time. Well, that about wraps everything up, and now, if you'll excuse me guys, I have some business to take care of. In a galaxy far, far away. I'll see you guys next time.
Beneath the waves and in the air, on the land everywhere. Just you be good, forget all evil. Freddy's watching, so look out, people. He's the one who's gonna get things done. F.R.O.7. He's got the enemy on the run. F.R.O.7. Yeah.
It hap longies and doyles, boopy! It hatch up from an egg, and it born is a tadpole. It grow up to be a froggy if it pan be no deaden.